Hello all, we'll be continuing the keypair.generate practice, and today we'll be using FS provided by Node, that is file system, for writing and reading uh, keypair from our own files. We'll be generating the keypair, we'll be saving it to one file, and we'll be reading from there. So we'll proceed with import. Now we see an error here. You see the first one, that is fs declared but its value not read. The other one cannot find module fs and its corresponding type declarations. We'll just take a look at package.json, and we do have fs installed. So this error is coming from something in the ts config, and particularly it's coming from this portion. If we add something here, now if you hover over it and you look at the quick fixes, it says install type nodes, remove fs, delete all unused imports. It seems like installing type nodes is going to solve the issue, because the error in particular says can't find fs module or its corresponding type declarations. So let's go with the logical first step and let's install them. It appears to go away and then it appears again. So installing installing types.node doesn't really solve the issue. So we'll just get rid of it here, and we'll look at the issue in tsconfig. Here, if we have this types as an empty array, then this issue remains. One way of getting rid of this issue is to add node here, and we'll save it, and we'll see the issue go away. The issue goes away, and you can see we do not have a dev dependency here, but the issue still goes away. This is one way of doing it. The other way of doing it is just to get rid of this completely, and it doesn't create a problem. If you don't have it at all, then it's automatically going to take this from node modules. So this is how it works. Moving on, we'll be doing a simple we'll be creating a simple random key pair. Nothing abnormal, nothing new. We'll just write fs dot. There are two options. We can write write file or write file sync. We'll be using write file sync because it is simpler. Now we'll just hover over it, and you can see how the types look here. It expects 2 to 3 arguments. The arguments are file here, there is data, and there is an optional thing called options. And there's a question mark here, so you may or may not enter it. File is a path or file descriptor. Data is a string or array buffer view. And the third one, option, is write file option, and the return type is void. So this doesn't return anything, so we'll not need to catch it. So uh, we'll just define the things that it takes. Just let's remember, there is file, there is data, and there is options. Option is optional. So let's create them. This happens to be the name of the file where we are trying to save it. So let's save it at a new file. So if you use write file sync and the file doesn't exist, fs.write file sync is going to create it. Let's call it we choose to save it in a JSON file, but you could choose to save it in any other format. Now here, data is the value that you're going to save in the file. So here we'll just save the secret key. We generated the key pair, we'll take the secret key from there, and we'll be converting it to string. And we'll be saving it. Now the third one, options, since it's optional, we'll try sending it without that, and we'll see what happens. We'll do file here and data, and we'll leave options. We will cd into the folder we are in. We are in starting, and we'll do a yarn ts node and index.ts. We'll just look at what we are doing. We are importing two things. We are generating the key pair. We are writing a file, and a new file, index keypair.json, that does not exist in the folder as of now, but it will be created. We are writing the secret key as a string to this file. So this data is going to be written into this file that is going to be created by fs.writeFileSync once we run it. So we'll run it and we'll expect to see a file created here. Run. It has run successfully and a file has been created. It's a JSON file. We see some error here. File end expected, because the JSON expects it to be in a certain format, so it shows the error. But if you close it, it doesn't really bother. Now, moving on, I'll just make a small change here. I'll remove the toString here to see what really happens if you remove it, and we'll run it again. This means that a new key pair will be generated and it will be saved there. So now you can see that the keypair.json is not readable anymore. It's not readable. So we'll just delete this one for now. And we'll do one thing. We'll be adding something here. We'll be adding UTF-8 here. This tells write-file what's the format of the file that we are going to write. This was optional and we had not added it here. What is the encoding format? We'll run it again. This creates it, and you see it now. You are able to open it. It's not really a readable thing, but at least we can open it. And if we delete it again, yes, we are going to delete it, and we'll do a toString here. Let's see what happens. It does the same thing. It prints it as a string. No issue, no other issue. Now that we have it, let's do a little more formatting here. Let's try to enclose this inside an array, and since the format requirements are so, we are going to put it into quotes here, and this is the format that works when you do it. Doing it any other way might fail. So we put the array in quotes, and we put the keypair.secret key like so in a string format inside this array, and we write UTF-8, write it with UTF-8 encoding. So what this is going to do is it's going to look similar, but this error that we see, file end expected, is going to go away, because this whole thing is going to be enclosed in square brackets as an array, which is going to help us when we are going to read it. I'll run it again. And you see that now those red marks are gone. This is a new key pair that is generated and it is saved like so. Now moving on. Now that we have it saved, I'll just comment this line and we'll go to the read file sync method. There is a read file and there is read file sync, but we'll choose read file sync because it is simpler and does our job. Now a read file sync, as you can see here, it takes some things. It takes path and it takes options, encoding, yeah, but those are all optional, so we can ignore it. Now it returns a type to shared buffer, so it appears that it returns a buffer. So we'll just catch it first so that we can log it later. Let key equals f.read file, and we need to provide the file. So we'll use the same file path because that is where we had written. So let's just take a look. It starts with 113 and it ends with 43, and it's a 64 byte secret key. So let's see if we log it and get the same. So it's key. This should console log the secret key. And you can see we did not provide any encoding. We'll just first see how it does. You see a buffer here, and there are 182 more bytes. So this looks very strange because our key has just 64 bytes. So this appears a little different. Let's see if adding UTF-8 helps. This is the encoding that we have added. We'll run it again. Now, adding UTF-8 to read file does help us because it provides this exact file. The end is 43, the beginning is 113, we see 113, and it ends with 43. But this is in a string format. So let's see if we can do something better with this. Let's write it as a uint array. So we see an issue here. If it returns a buffer, we should be able to put it into an array, but looks like something is going on here. Let's this seems not to work. Let's get rid of it. I'm trying to parse it as a JSON. Let's see if that works. And we'll try to console log that. Let's see how it does. Console log. The file that is read in UTF-8 format, and then we are doing a JSON parse on it. Let's see what it does. So it does read it, and it does read it as an array. Now let's do one more thing. I'm trying to do the same, but I'm now trying to convert it into a uint 8 array. We'll console log it again, and this time we are logging the file that is read is first JSON passed and then converted into a uint 8 array. Let's see what we get. We get that array. Last time we just got the array, and this time it is a uint 8 array with the same elements. the numbers look the same, but now just the type of the array is uint8. Now what could we do with this? Let's see. After we printed the uint8 array, let's do something else. Let's discover a new method now. Keypair dot. You can see a few other methods: keypair from seed, keypair from secret. This one is called keypair from secret key. We are used to using keypair.generate, which generates a random file, but this, as the name suggests, can take a secret key. So let's see, what is the secret key? The secret key is a uint8 array, and there are options which has skip validation. We'll just not use this because it's optional, and we'll see what it does when we provide it key uint. So we know what key uint is. This is the extracted file from the index keypair.json file in this format, new uint8 format. When we read something from using the fs.read file sync, it tends to provide a buffer, but that is not in the uint8 format. So that is why we have to go through all this process. So we'll just console log it now. We need to console log this one. Let's see. Console.log. Now we should see the same uint8 array, but below that we should see keypair fetched, and then we should see the keypair. Let's see. I'll just enlarge this a little bit. So we see key, we see the uint8 array, that is the secret key, and then we see keypair fetched, and we see the keypair in the format that we had seen when we did a keypair generate in the older videos. And you can see the public key and the private key, and you see the public key 48, 43. Let's try to find 48 here, and 43. This appears to be the, let's see, 48, 225, 247, 48, 225, 227. Yeah, so this appears to be the public key. So if you have the secret key saved, you do not need to store the public key, because you can just generate it using keypair.generate. And then every other method works just like usual. So we'll just do dot public key. See, the same methods are now available. We'll just run it for the sake of running. So you see this keypair fetched is now logging the public key, just like we saw the last time. Now if we do a 2 base 58, it does a simple log. It does keypair fetched, and this is the public key. That's it for this video. We'll be exploring a few more things, how to generate keypair from seeds in the following video. Thank you.